Actually, half of the breath is to be used for the vowel oo, and then you transition. So om, somewhat in that manner. Let's try it out once again. The first vowel oo. Now we have O. Try O. A. E. There is another technique where the Hindi vowel which is produced from deep within the throat, that is combined with the A sound, the previous one. Feel a strong, vigorous movement of the soft palate. You take a deep breath. All together. Once again. Last time you try. So the question is, how does the tonal quality of your voice sound at this point of time? If there is even a slight improvement, then it is reason enough for you to continue the practice of these exercises. In 1 week, 10 days, 15 to 20 days, you can make a sea change in the tonal quality of your voice. And who is to decide? You yourself. You listen to your own voice and it will tell you. Your ears will tell you how your voice has improved. Mr. Subramanian, you can bring down the pitch of your voice a little bit. You can try it out by practicing these sentences. Now we'll come to how to put these things into practical use. There is another technique which we have. Before we come to the visualization technique which everyone will come forward and practice, that is, these are additional practice pieces. It starts from the middle of the page. What you have to do here is contrast the general pitch of the first part of the piece with the second part. Determine whether you think high or low is more appropriate. Now what we have to do, there are two paragraphs in each piece and there are two pieces. The first paragraph has to be spoken very fast and at a high pitch. The second paragraph, you have to completely change the pace and lower the pitch. I'll just demonstrate it to you. With a low moan, the wind wound round the house, rattling the windows and shaking the massive oak door until the iron bolt gave way with a resounding shudder. The sickly spectre, now quite clearly defined under the yellow moon, appeared from the forest and glided toward the house. Meanwhile, in the drawing room, Lady Penelope languidly sipped a long, cool glass of lemonade while listening to the dulcet tones of the flute played by her elegant companion. So anyone would like to try out this? Aye. Please come. First part, fast and high pitch. Second part, sedate and low pitch.
With a low moan, the wind wound round the house, rattling the windows and shaking the massive oak door until the iron bolts gave way with a resounding shudder. The sickly spectre, now quite clearly defined under the yellow moon, appeared from the forest and glided towards the house. Meanwhile, in the drawing room, Lady Penelope languidly sipped a long, cool glass of lemonade while listening to the dulcet tones of the flute played by her elegant companion. Can I give one more try?
Yes, yes. The difference in the pace must be much more pronounced.
Yes.
And it should be perceptible to your own self.
When I go fast compared to slow,
Yeah.
it should be.
See, the key technique is you just take a deep breath where you are supposed to make a transition from a very fast pace to a slower pace. At that moment, take a deep breath and then you will be able to change gears. You will be able to switch
Yeah,
gears.
I'll try. With a low moan, the wind wound around the house, rattling the windows and shaking the massive oak door until the iron bolts gave way with a resounding shudder. The sickly spectre, now quite clearly defined under the yellow moon, appeared from the forest and glided towards the house. Meanwhile, in the drawing room, Lady Penelope languidly sipped a long, cool glass of lemonade while listening to the dulcet tones of the flute played by her elegant companion.
Okay, slightly better.
Thanks.
Now see the difference in the tone of the voice. If I say long cool glass of lemonade, long cool glass of lemonade, obviously it makes a difference. Is there anyone else who would like to come and try this out? Mr. Prabhat. The areas of your improvement is you would like to raise the pitch of your voice at least at times. Now how to bring about the variation in the pitch? This piece will teach.
Okay.
First part, fast and high pitch. Second part, slow and little sedate.
With a low moan, the wind wound round the house, rattling the windows and shaking the massive oak door until the iron bolts gave away with a resounding shudder. The sickly spectre, now quite clearly defined under the yellow moon, appeared from the forest and glided towards the house. Meanwhile, in the drawing room, Lady Penelope languidly sipped a long, cool glass of lemonade while listening to the dulcet tones of flute played by her elegant companion.
Okay, yes, quite good. See, if you ask me, your natural voice should be raised a little bit higher, 1 or 2 notes higher, the way you communicate. When you came here and read the first part of the passage, to me it indicated that this should be your normal pitch. when you are communicating, particularly when you are making presentations. Try to raise the pitch a little bit.
Okay.
Now again, this is something which we will practice in order to take it forward. But the second piece is more challenging, and this I think 3-4 people should come forward and try it out. It is from a football match. And in fact, there are two scenarios. First is the football match itself, and then second is the post-match. Again, we have to read the first at a high pitch, fast pace, and the second at a much slower pace in the following manner. The football stadium was packed with thousands of eager fans, boisterously brandishing programs, rattles and bells, all in support of their hero, who at this moment was careering down the wing, the ball apparently stuck to his toes, past one opponent, then another and another, until with a mighty effort he kicked the ball into the enemy's net. Goal! Later, back in the dressing room, with the deep satisfaction of conquerors, the men lay submerged in the warm, relaxing water. The steam rose like mist around them as their aching and tense muscles thawed. Away from the noise of the crowd, with only the low murmurs of congratulations, many succumbed to sleep. Mr. Vijay is all ready.
The football stadium was packed with the thousands of eager fans, boisterously brandishing program letters and bells, all in support of their hero. What it at this moment was carrying down the wing. The ball apparently stuck to his toes, past one opponent, then another and another, until with a mighty effort he kicked the ball into the enemy's net. Goal! Later, back in the dressing room, with the deep dissatisfaction of conquerors, the man lay submerged in the warm, relaxing water. The steam rose like mist around them as their aching and tense muscles thawed. Away from the noise of the crowd, with only the low murmurs of congratulations, many succumbed to sleep.
Okay, good, nicely.
Football stadium was packed with thousands of eager fans, boisterously brandishing programs, rattles and bells, all in support of the hero, who at this moment was careering down the wing. The ball apparently stuck to his toes, past one opponent, then another and another, until with a mighty effort he kicked the ball into the enemy's net. Goal! Later, back in the dressing room, with the deep satisfaction of conquerors, the men lay submerged in the warm, relaxing water. The steam rose like mist around them as the aching and tense muscles thawed. Away from the noise of the crowd, with only the low murmurs of congratulations, many succumbed to sleep.
Good, except the second part could have been a little slower. Yeah. Of his speech. Can also practice the second. Yeah.
The football stadium was packed with thousands of eager fans, boisterously brandishing programs, rattles and bells, all in support of their hero, who at this moment was careering down the wing. The ball apparently struck to his toes, past one opponent, then another and another, until with a mighty effort, he kicked the ball into the enemy's net. Goal! Later, back in the dressing room, with the deep satisfaction of conquerors, the men lay submerged in the warm, relaxing water. The steam rose like mist around them as their aching and tense muscles thawed. Away from the noise of the crowd, with only those low murmurs of congratulations, many succumbed to sleep.
Okay, good, good.
The football stadium was packed with thousands of eager fans, boisterously brandishing programs, rattles and bells, all in support of their hero, who at this moment was careering down the wing. The ball apparently stuck to his toes, past one opponent, then another and another, until with a mighty effort he kicked the ball into the enemy's net. Goal! Later, back in the dressing room, with the deep satisfaction of conquerors, the men lay submerged in the warm, relaxing water. The steam rose like mist around them as their aching and tense muscles thawed. Away from the noise of the crowd, with only the low murmurs of congratulations, many succumbed to sleep.
Good. Second part was a little softer. See, in this you don't have to vary the volume, you have to vary the pitch. Now we have seen how we can vary. Mahesh, would you like to try?
The football stadium was packed with thousands of eager fans, burstily brandishing programs, rattles and bells, all in support of their hero, who at the moment was scurrying down the wing. The ball apparently stuck to his toes, passed one opponent, then another, until within a mighty effort, he kicked the ball into the enemy's net. Goal! Later, back in the dressing room with the deep satisfaction of conquerors, the many lay submerged in the warm, relaxing water. The steam rose like mist around them as they achieved, and tense muscles thrown. Away from the noise of crowds, with only the low murmurs of congratulations, many succumbed to sleep. I think last one
Wow,
was
that was
fast.
too fast. You want to try it out again?
Sure.
See, the trick is take a deep breath. When it comes to later, you take a deep breath. Later, back in the dressing room with the deep satisfaction of conquerors. See, again, what you are trying to do, you are trying to visualize the satisfaction in your own mind so that it is conveyed in the tone of your voice. This is what visualization requires you to do. Obviously, you have perceived certain benefits which your product or service offered by an organization can offer. But it's not the way your client, your prospect is going to look at it. You have to make him or her visualize the benefit which comes. Mahesh will show us how.
The football stadium was packed with a thousand of eager fans, boisterously brandishing programs, rattles and bells in all support of their hero, who at this moment was carrying down at the wing. The ball apparently stuck to his shoes, passed one opponent, then another, until with a mighty effort, he kicked the ball into the enemy's net. Goal! Later, back in the dressing room, with the deep satisfaction of concurrence, the men lay submerged in the warm, relaxing later. The steam rose like mist around them as their aching and tense muscles torn. Away from the noise of crowd, with only the low murmurs of congratulations, many stumbled to sleep. I think that was also too fast.
Well, this is your homework. You have to practice it so that it. Any last person, one more before you. Imagine yourself as if you are the commentator. You are making people see what is happening.
The football stadium was packed with thousands of eager fans, boisterously brandishing programs, rattles and bells, all in support of their hero, who at this moment was scurrying down the wing. The ball apparently stuck to his toes, passed one opponent, then another, and another, until with a mighty effort he kicked the ball into the enemy's net, and that's a goal! Later, back in the dressing room, with the deep satisfaction of conquerors, the men lay submerged in the warm, relaxing water. The steam rose like mist around them as their aching and tense muscles thawed. Away from the noise of the crowd, with only the low murmurs of congratulations, many succumbed to sleep.
Okay, good. Taking a pause between sentences, taking a breath before you start the next sentence. The wind stung them as they walked out of the hotel into the biting air. This was not a day for dallying, and they set off at a brisk pace, crunching their heels into the packed snow. The park was only a few hundred yards away, and as they passed through the huge iron gates, they saw children of all sorts of shapes and sizes skating on the pond. With their scarves wrapped round them, they looked like a vast gathering of mobile barrels with legs. There was a lot of noise, and it cut through the wintry air with a keenness like the frost. James began to hurry, clinging to the hand of his little girl, and they whooped, whistled and laughed as they half ran, half slid toward the pond. At the edge, the pair of them stopped, with that instinctive caution reserved for first steps onto ice. Tentatively, each put a foot forward, and in spite of the fact that there were hundreds on there skating and sliding already, they pressed on to the ice and established its security before totally committing themselves to the frozen water. Once that ritual was over, they parted hands and began to walk round the pond with heavy feet, almost as if they were trying to burn their footprints into it. Ice is not to be walked on, and before long the two of them were in the middle, sliding and slipping, and needless to